حبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا وفقها في الدين يا رب العالمين وألحقنا بعبادك الصالحين. Last week we done up to point number 26 of Imam Dhahabi's book Al-Kaba'ir, the major sins. Today inshallah we continue with, you need to speed up inshallah, from number 27. So number 27, what is mentioned here is a man who allows his household, meaning his wife, to commit sin, and he's proud of it. This, in the terminology of the muhaddithin or the ulama, they call a man the youth, when he is loose in regards to his wife, when he allows his wife to do tabarruj in front of other men, to show herself off, to show her beauty off to other non-mahram men. This is called the youth. This man is called the youth for being loose in regards to not protecting the wife's chastity. Okay? So here, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ثلاثة لا ينظر الله عز وجل إليهم يوم القيامة. 3 people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not look at them with mercy on the day of judgment. Who are these 3 people? العاق لوالديه, the one who is disobedient to both his parents. وَالْمَرْأَةُ الْمُتَرَجِّلَةِ, and the woman that imitates to become like a man. She walks like a man, she talks like a man, she dresses like a man, she wants to be a man. Okay? And the last one is what the youth. The youth is the one who is absolutely loose and he doesn't care about what his wife is up to. Okay? So her being flirtatious with other men, her talking to other men without any barriers, without any hijab, her not wearing the proper hijab, her not talking the proper hijab. We forget sometimes that talking is part of hijab. Dressing is part of hijab. The way a person walks is part of hijab. The way a person addresses themselves is part of hijab. A woman should not in public talk in a soft tone with her normal nature. فَلَا تَخْضَعْنَ بِالْقَوْلِ, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not soften your tones when it comes to talking to the opposite gender. And this applies to us even more so. Allahu Akbar. So these are the 3 people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not look at them, will not show mercy on them on the day of judgment. The first one was the one who is disobedient to his parents. The second one was a woman that imitates a man in everything. Okay, a woman that imitates a man, tries to become a man in everything. Okay, this is in regards to changing her characteristics. This is in regards to dressing like a man, speaking like a man, doing everything like a man. Okay, and then the youth is the one who lets his woman, he doesn't care about his woman, who she's talking to, why she's talking to the opposite gender, stuff like that. He completely allows her to do anything and everything. Okay, this is a person who doesn't have self-respect. Firstly, he doesn't have self-respect. If he had self-respect, he would never be able to let his wife talk to strange men in any way. Khair. Then we go on to number 27. الرجلة من النساء والمخنث من الرجال. A woman being like a man, this is very similar to that previous hadith. A woman resembling like a man and a man wanting to resemble like a woman. Like we have drag queens, astaghfirullah, you know. This is the type of negation, this is the type of prohibition that has come in this regard. That a woman trying to imitate a man, and a man, for example, a woman cuts her hair off to look like a man. She wears a cap, she wears jeans, you know, like a man's jeans, and she wears a full belt and a jacket that resembles a complete man. You can't differentiate between her and another man. Okay? Likewise, a man dressing in such a way that he puts makeup on, he dresses himself with wigs and everything, and he looks like a woman. This is absolutely prohibited in our Sharia in the absolute form, in the explicit form. There's no leeway in regards to this mas'ala. Okay? And Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, even when it comes to plays in theaters, This is not allowed. For us to go and watch these things, it's absolutely haram with our kids. Many people go to these plays and these theaters and these cinema halls. But unfortunately, these things are promoting the wrong ideals in our society. And this is going to break our society down in a negative way. خير. عن ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال لعن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المخنثين من الرجال والمترجلات من النساء. Subhanallah, look how stern the warning is. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu says that Rasulullah cursed a man that resemble a woman that resembles herself to be from the men, and a woman and a man that makes himself to be like a woman. Astaghfirullah. Okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect one and all. Unfortunately, the education system is not assisting us. In fact, it is promoting this sort of things, and this is infiltrating inside the brains and the minds of our little children. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect one and all. We have to do our utmost best for this idea, for these types of things not to get into our children. And we have to give them tarbiyah from a young age, that a boy is a boy, girl is a girl. Girls have their colors, boys have boys' colors. Boys plays with certain things, girls plays with certain things. Okay? So, likewise, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the tawfiq. Next, number 29, marrying falsely in order to marry your previously divorced spouse. Now, this is a long mas'ala, al-muhallil wal-muhallil lahu. This is a long mas'ala where a woman, for example, if she is divorced 3 times, then she cannot go back to the previous husband. Now what happens is, when she has many children with the first husband, she wants to be with the first husband. She can't bear to leave the first husband. So in a case where another person, he basically plans that, yes, I will marry your wife for 1 day, I will sleep with her, and then I will divorce her, and then you can take your wife back after her iddah. This person is cursed, and the person that does it, meaning gets it done, the man and the woman who gets it done upon them to come together back again, both of them are cursed. أتى النبي صلى الله أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لعن الله المحلل والمحلل له. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم cursed this type of people, that a person who makes it halal for the wife to go back to the first wife, and the person who allows it to be done, meaning the husband, the first husband. These types of cunning nature and coming up with cheating and falsely lying and attributing things, these are totally haram. You shouldn't be coming up with ideas and try to trick the Sharia. This is what the Jews done. This is why they are doomed. Next one, number 30. Aklul mayta wa dam wa lahmil khinzir. قل لا أجد عند القرآن الله سبحانه وتعالى says قل لا أجد فيما أوحي إلي محرما على طاعم يطعمه إلا أن يكون ميتة أو دما مسفوحا أو لحم خنزير فإنه رجس أو فسقا أهل لغير الله به. Here in this verse it clearly mentions that eating a dead animal is haram. Eating any dead animal is haram. Dam refers to at the time of slaughter, when the blood gushes out forth, this extra amount of gush out of blood that comes out of the jugular veins at the time of slaughtering, this spilling of the blood at that time, this blood is absolutely haram to consume. A person cannot consume. In fact, this is full of toxins. If a person consumes this, he'll become sick very quickly. Okay, there are some tribal nations that still do this in Africa. It is well known. This is very harmful for your health. Okay, this is extremely harmful for your health, and this is haram made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything which is made haram, whether it's dead animals, whether it's this spilled blood from an animal that's being slaughtered, everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes haram is for our benefit. It's not for anyone else's benefit. Like I said before, أو لحم خنزير, or the swine, the pig. Anything to do with the pig from the nose to the tail is absolutely haram. To even tan its skin and to make it into material like leather is even haram. absolutely use any part of the pig is absolutely haram in our Sharia. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made it haram for our benefit. Okay? فَإِنَّهُ رِجْسٌ, for it is impure, أو فِسْقًا, it is a sin, أُهِلَّ لِغَيْرِ اللَّهِ بِهِ, it is uh, sacrificed for other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next we go on to inshallah number 31. Number 31, not to clean oneself after urinating. After urinating, a person must be super careful to wash off every single sprinkle of his urine, okay? Or any of the dirt that gets onto your body or your clothes. If a person doesn't, then it will fall under the major sins of Islam. Okay, a person will be punished inside his grave due to these sprinkles going onto your body or your clothes. هي رسول الله عدم التنزه من البول. عن ابن عباس رضي الله تعالى عنه قال مر رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على قبرين فقال إنهما يعذبان وما يعذبان في كبير أما هذا فكان لا يستتر من بوله وأما هذا فإنه كان يمشي بالنميمة. These two actions are great major sins. Great major sins. That's the first thing that I need you to understand. That these two actions, verily these two people are being punished. Rasulullah went past the graveyard and he showed the Sahaba that these two graves, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened up the unseen to Rasulullah in certain circumstances, in certain times in his life. So this time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened up the punishment of these two people that were inside their graves. These two people he showed with his finger and he said, these two people are getting punished inside their graves. The first one is being punished because he never used to protect himself from the urine drops that used to splash onto his body. Okay? And the second one, body or clothes. And the second one is being punished because he used to go tail bearing from one person to another. He used to go backbiting and tail bearing and making up fights between each other, different people. Okay, creating enmity and creating hatred and creating fights between people. So these two actions are absolutely major sins. That for sure. Now the point that is made here, وَمَا يُعَذَّبَانِ فِي كَبِيرٍ. In Arabic language, kabir can mean in two ways. Kabir can mean it's not a great sin. This would be the wrong translation. Unfortunately, there are many translations that take this translation, but because they don't understand the Arabic language and because they don't understand the intended meaning of what Rasulullah wanted, they didn't read the commentaries. This is why they fall into these problems. Now, a person that's reading hadith just by the translation, they go into bigger problems. Okay, they take wrong meanings from the Quran, they take wrong meanings from the hadith. That's why a reliable commentary is necessary when going through Quranic verses or understanding of the Quranic verses or trying to understand Quranic verses. A reliable classical commentary is necessary. Likewise, when it comes to hadith as well, reliable commentary of hadith. That is Imam Nawawi's commentary is translated Imam Muslim Sharif's. Whoever wants to buy it, it's in 10 volumes. You know, it's quite a large encyclopedia of hadith, and all the hadith is a sahih there, and the commentary of it is well known and accepted, and we studied it all throughout. You know, the institutions after institutions from nearly 800, 900 years, we've been studying the same book, the same commentary of Sahih Muslim. So everyone has the same understanding. The past 900 years, everyone has exactly the same understanding of those hadiths by Imam al-Nawawi. And he's accepted throughout all four corners of the globe. It doesn't matter if you're a Hanafi or a Shafi or a Maliki. Everyone accepts him. Hanbali. Anyone accepts him. Everyone accepts him all around the globe. Without him, Sahih al-Muslim, there are many other commentaries in Sahih Muslim, but not like his one. Khair, inshallah. عدم التنزه من البول. We've done this, okay? So I explained to you. وما يعذبان في كبير. It is not difficult. That's the correct translation. It is not difficult to stay away from these two actions. What two difficult actions? To stay away from the splashes of urine falling onto yourself, because if splashes of urine fall onto yourself, your wudu won't be valid. Your ghusl won't be valid. Your salah won't be valid. Your Quran won't be valid. Everything that you do, instead of getting rewards, you're going to be cursed. Okay? You're going to be full of you thinking you're doing something good, but in fact you're doing something bad. It's written against you instead of for you. Khair. Number 32 is al-makkas. Makkas is a person who charges to go by a path that is not his own path, that is not by the government, that any person that passes by that road, he wants to charge them. He stops them and he charges them. He's like a highway robber, but of a lesser degree. Highway robber, as we said, it's of a such, he goes into killing, he goes into snatching, he goes into robbery, he goes into putting people at gunpoint, stuff like that. Al-Makkas is a person who he wants to take money. He's like a tax. He wants to take tax for no reason. Okay. Unfortunately, this is very common. But Allahu Alam if it can be applied in this society in the way that it's being implemented. Here the verse comes in إنما السبيل على الذين يظلمون الناس ويبغون في الأرض بغير الحق أولئك لهم عذاب أليم, for them is a severe punishment. Ar-Riya. Next one we go into number 33. Ar-Riya. Riya refers to showing off good actions. Now, for example, in some instances our ulama say you must show off. You will be like, how is this against? This is completely against hadith. No, it's not. How is it not? To encourage others, for example, you're in a gathering where it is encouraged to donate towards a good need that is there in the society. So in that case, if a person gives sadaqah proudly, that I'm giving 10,000 pounds towards this new institution that's going to be built, inshallah, and thousands of hufaz are going to come out, or whatever, this orphanage, and there's going to be great benefit to our whole community. In that way, he encouraged the rest of the people in his whole community, especially the leaders and the ones who have more money, to contribute towards this great action. So he is the one who started off this good thing. And man sanna sunnatan hasanatan falahu ajruha wa ajru man amila biha, and the hadith goes on. He has the reward, and he has the reward of all those who do this and contribute towards this same action. So likewise, so in some instances it is good to do it. Why? Because of encouraging others to do good, but with that intention as well, with that intention that everyone must join me in this good. But in general cases, in 90%, 99%, 99% of the cases, a person should not do something to show off. For example, a person recites the Quran loudly when a person passes by, but he stays quiet and he reads to himself when he's reading to himself. That shows that he's only reading to show off his voice to someone else when he's passing by, because when he's doing it himself, he's not doing it. For example, a person doesn't do his sunnahs at home, but when he goes in the masjid, he feels shy and he does sunnah because everyone is looking at him. Everyone's going to think he's sitting on his place and he's not praying the Maghrib sunnahs, for example. Okay, so this is a type of show off. This is a type of show off, but that doesn't mean you don't pray those 2 rakats. Many people misunderstand this mas'ala. When something is important to do, at least at the level of sunnah mu'akkada or wajib or fard, even if you think, for example, a person says that you going to the mosque, walking to the mosque, or going to the mosque for that sake 5 times a day is riya, it will not be considered as riya. This is a necessity. Anything which is wajib cannot fall under the banner of showing off your actions. So wajib, sunnah mu'akkada, and fard are out of the equation. It will only be in regards to nafal. It will be only in regards to nafal. Next, we go on to number 34, betrayal, betraying a trust. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تخونوا الله والرسول وتخونوا أماناتكم وأنتم تعلمون. Any type of trust you are given to, whether it's your wife, whether it's your husband, whether it's your father, whether it's your mother, whether it's your brother, whether it's your children, any trust must not be betrayed, because a Muslim, he works according to his words. He must stick to his words. It's like a promise. A Muslim, when he says something, is like a promise. Okay, he sticks to his word. That's why Abu Bakr was Siddiq. Siddiq refers to the highest level of a person speaking the truth at all times, no matter what, no matter his life even. This is why he was called a Siddiq. He never feared of anything. He never feared of anything and even any harm. They can the incident of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu when he was leading salah in front of his home when they wanted to banish him. At that time, he didn't stop. He carried on. He said, even with you, Allah is my protector. Allah is my protector. I will continue to pray salah. Allah will protect me. Khair, inshallah. So betrayal here, and one of the qualities of the munafiq, one of the qualities of the hypocrite, Rasulullah says the munafiq, he has 3 types of qualities. Ayatul munafiqi thalathun idha haddatha kadhaba. When he talks, he lies. When he he can't hold himself back but to lie. Even to tweak something in is lying. Is lying. Okay? Even to spice things up sometimes in our language, is that even making something more than what it is lying as well. Okay? Making something more than what it is also a type of lying. It's not lying, but it's a type of lying. وَإِذَا وَعَدَ أَخْلَفَ. And when he promises, he goes against his promise. He said he's going to do something, he goes totally against his promise all the time, every time. Okay, this is a clear sign of a hypocrisy. And the last one is وَإِذَا تُمِنَ خَانَ. When he is entrusted to do something for you, he doesn't do it. Or when he is entrusted with some product of yours, and when it comes to shops, then he doesn't look after that product, rather he makes that product go to waste. Okay, so this will also be khiyana, betrayal. Learning, next one, التعلم للدنيا وكتمان العلم. Nowadays is opposite. التعلم للدنيا, to learn knowledge, sacred knowledge of deen for dunya purposes. So back in the days, what used to happen is 100 years ago, when we had the Khilafat of Islam, the Ottoman Empire, what used to happen? A person, when he graduates from the Islamic sciences, Kulliyatul Sharia, Kulliyatul Hadith, Kulliyatul Tafsir, he becomes a Qadi, he becomes a judge, he has high posts in ministerial positions, he becomes an MP, stuff like that, okay? He has high positions in society. This doesn't exist anymore. So for us, this more or less, most of the time, this doesn't apply to us. Because learning Dini sciences is, in this day and time, is a great sacrifice for your whole life. It's a great sacrifice for your whole life. Not only will you not have any money, because there's no positions for you to serve, more or less, okay? But it's very unlikely that a person would go into the sciences of deen and want to learn the traditional sciences and to make it his life's aim to get money out of this type of project. Okay, unfortunately, there are people that are doing it. Okay, these charities I told you about last week. Okay, these charities that are fundraising, this one of the greatest sins in Islam is raising money that you don't know where it's going to. It's going to certain individuals that are eating up all this money. Otherwise, how are they getting 50, 60, 100K salaries in these big charities, human aid, first aid, whatever, all these big Muslim aid? How are they funding themselves? It doesn't make sense. Ask them. Ask them to give their finances. They'll show it to you. So this means that your zakat didn't go to the right people. So that means your zakat isn't fulfilled. You have to give your zakat all over again. Okay? So, التعلم للدنيا وكتمان العلم. Learning religious studies for dunyawi purposes. That Allah will give me a status. I will become Imam Sahib. I will become this. I will become that. I will become a judge. Back in the days, it was judges. Most scholars used to become judges. They were in the courtroom. They used to be lawyers. Okay? So, for that reason, or hiding knowledge. Our deen is not the knowledge. Our deen is not the deen of the Jewish deen. Okay? We don't hide, there's no hierarchy in knowledge. A person who ascends and studies properly in the proper methodology of the classical scholars, he will ascend. Automatically, you will understand his level of ilm. So you have to respect him accordingly. He's a master in tafsir studies, alhamdulillah. Another one is a master in hadith studies. You must understand that that's his specialization, just like a brain surgeon, just like a foot surgeon, just like a heart surgeon, same thing. Each one has his own field. And alhamdulillah, Allah has given them to specialize in these different fields, and they should be respected for each of their sacrifices, especially in this day and age, especially in this day and age of materialism. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless these ulama and keep on this legacy that has been carrying on for more than 1,000 years. So, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْتُمُونَ مَا أَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْبَيِّنَاتِ. Verily, those who conceal, those who hide knowledge of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made clear, meaning the Quran, wal huda, and the Sunnah. Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah. Now, Sunnah here will be according to when we go into the definition of Sunnah, according to who is it Sunnah. Okay? Now you have to follow a mujtahid imam. You can't come up with your own Sunnah. You can't understand the Quran, hadith by yourself. So therefore, you are forced to follow an imam in fiqh. And who are you going to follow? An imam of this century or an imam of the Salafus Salihin? We love to follow an imam of the Salafus Salihin. That's why we follow one of the 4 imams. Okay? You're forced to follow one of the 4 imams. You don't have a choice to. It's not your choice that I'm going to open a book of hadith and I'm going to start doing my own ijtihad. You don't have the tools of ijtihad. You haven't studied the 15 branches of Islamic studies. You don't have the right to ijtihad. You don't have the right to coming up with your own opinions when you read a translation of Sahih al-Bukhari, okay, or translation of Muhsin Khan's Quran translation.